Welcome everyone to This is Jackson. I'm your host, Barry Rosenzweig from the Jackson School District. Today, I love it, and I love it. I am here with 6 wonderful professional educators, part of our team right here in the Jackson School District, part of the team that helps to educate your child, our students. And by the way, parents, even before we begin, thank you for providing us the honor and opportunity to take your child to become our student. We cherish that, and it is so important because that's what we do here. The Jackson School District is famous for making every child be the best they can be. And these are the people that make that happen. To have your child be the best that he or she can be. So thanks, parents. I just wanted to get that right out of the way first because I mean it so deeply. And today we are honoring our Educational Service Professionals of the Year for the 2017-2018 school year. It is exciting, and these are, as the sign behind me says, the best of the best. And there, you've got it now. You can see the entire sign. We have the best of the best. We have the elementary service professionals right here, the Educational Service Professionals of the Year. I'm going to start to my far left, and we're going to introduce each of them to you today. So Kathleen Chastney, welcome.
Thank you.
And Kathleen, you're from Crawford Rodriguez.
Yes, I am.
And you are a classroom para.
I am.
We're going to find out all about that later, but you're a classroom para for which grade level or which level?
Primarily 4th and 5th. We do have a 3rd grade student also, but generally we run 4th and 5th.
Excellent. Well, congratulations again, Kathleen,
Thank you.
from Crawford Rodriguez. And the reading specialist from Johnson School, HCJ all the way. And we have Heather Donnelly. Congratulations to you. Now, reading specialist, all grades.
All grades.
That's it.
K to 5.
K to 5. And we're going to get back to that later, but congratulations to you. And to my immediate left from the Rosenauer Elementary School, someone who I just met before the show. Now, actually, Barbara Indero, and Barbara is a classroom para, and you've been there for a few years. We'll get to that later, of course. I know Barbara many, many years, and it's so wonderful to see that she's been recognized for her excellence in her job as classroom para. Congratulations to you, Barbara.
Thank you.
Good to see you, as always. To my immediate right, we have from the Switlick Elementary School, Joanne Jones.
Hello.
How are you, Joanne?
I'm good.
And you are a basic skills teacher.
Yes.
What grade levels do you handle?
I'll work with all grade levels. Primarily, though, I'm in 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade.
Okay. Is there basic skills in the building for lower than that?
Yes. Yeah, we work with all grade levels, but I'm usually working with the older kids.
Okay, the older ones, 3rd, 4th. And
Yep.
And Barbara, I did forget to ask you, what grade is your para?
I'm in 3rd grade now, inclusion.
Right, because I know you've done over the years all grades.
Yes, I have.
I know that.
I get to 5th grade, they put me back down to 1st grade. I work my way back up every year.
Okay, I love it. All right, well, that's good.
Yes.
So now you're back in,
3rd grade.
you're right in the middle.
Yes.
All right, good. Next year.
4th and 5th, and if I'm still here, I will be 1st. No
Listen,
kindergarten,
a
1st.
young teenager like you'll be here for a
I
long
know,
time.
thank you.
Come on, Barb, you know. And Joanne, again, you're 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Basic skills?
Yes.
Switlick?
Yes.
And congratulations
Thank
to you. Excellent. And we have Kathy next, Kathy Coco.
Yes, correct.
And Kathy, you're a para at the Holman School.
Yes, 1st grade.
Lucy Holman School.
Lucy Holman School.
And what grade?
1st grade.
Oh, 1st grade, thank you. See, now you knew the question before you gave the answer before I asked the question. How wonderful, 1st grade.
Yes.
And congratulations
Thank
to
you.
you. It's wonderful.
It is.
Welcome
It's quite
aboard
an honor.
today.
Thank you.
Oh, boy. Well, you know, it really is. I was a teacher for 21 years. in the classroom before I became an administrator, and I never had the honor and the privilege to be a teacher of the year or an educational service professional of the year. And you know what? I am truly, and I said when I started before the show when we were talking, I am honored to be with you. I think it's great. And the reason I think it's great is, and we're going to get to Jessica in just a second, because you're chosen by your peers. No administrator has anything to do with it. It's all of the people that you work with on a daily basis from your entire building. They are the people that voted for you and chose you. That is truly an honor. So thank you for saying that you're happy to be here. I'm thrilled to be with you.
Thanks.
And last but not least, absolutely from the Elms Elementary School, Jessica Fioretti.
Yes.
And Jessica, you are speech language specialist.
Yes.
And what grade levels do you deal with?
Right now, I'm primarily in the preschool special ed program.
Wow. So you're doing the speech
Yeah.
remediation and so on with
Yeah,
the
we do
littlest?
we do speech and language. We work a lot on feeding and getting our kids to be, able to communicate throughout the day across, all different environments in the school and with their teachers and staff and peers. So
That's a very comprehensive job. Thank you for doing that. Wow. You have now met all 6 of our elementary educational service professionals for the 2017-2018 school year. They're wonderful. And now, let's get to meet them a little bit. So I'm going to start way over to my right. Jessica, if you're ready. Why did you become a teacher? There are lots of professions out there.
I always had an interest in communication disorders. So when I was looking for colleges, the speech language pathology was something that I had read about, and I was like, this really sounds like something I'd be interested in. And the more I got to talking to people and kind of getting to see what the career was like, there's so many areas that you can work with, and there's so much room for change, and you can work from, from 0 to, pediatric, geriatric, kids, adults. So I really like that it had that broad range, that I'd be able to kind of change things around. And so I chose that path, and I've worked with all different ages. I've worked in early intervention, I've worked in the hospital, and so now being in the school, I feel like I've kind of found my ground.
Wonderful.
Yeah, wonderful. I love it.
That in itself, as we go around, is really the answer. You have found it. You have found where you belong and where your heart is. And that's what makes you all so great. It's here, in the heart, and using all of your wonderful skills in your mind to provide the children with what they need, whatever it may be. You do it. And that's wonderful. I'm so glad. Now, you have been in Jackson how long now?
So I've been working in the school district for 8 years. This is my 8th year.
Wow.
Yeah, 8th year at Elms.
At Elms, yeah. Great school.
Yes.
It's a wonderful, very new school and a large facility.
Yes, it is large.
Is it still the largest elementary with the largest number of students?
I'm not 100% sure.
I'm not too sure either.
Things have changed.
The numbers change years over.
I think
Swiffick,
so,
it was. Is it still?
I think, yes, it still is.
Okay, Joanne knows that because, like at different times, different schools, obviously, they do change the population number of students. And I do remember even Johnson, when it had 750 students there when I was principal during several of my years. It was a lot of people, a lot of kids. But they change all the time, different numbers. Well, thank you. Thank you so much, Jessica.
Thank you.
And Kathy Coco.
Yes, well,
Para.
I actually started out thinking I wanted to be involved with computers, went to college for that, and didn't really find my path that way, and being home with my children, I was the mom in the neighborhood who all the kids came to. So I really enjoyed being with children, and that evolved into watching teachers' children from Holman, actually, when I was home with my children. And an opportunity came up 16 years ago at Holman. Dr. Pollack called me, and I became a para. So I started out in the basic skills, which evolved into many roles. You know, there's personal para, I was classroom para, shared para. So that's 16
And now
years.
you're first grade.
And now I'm first grade, yes.
Wow. 16 years in Jackson.
16 years, yeah, at Holman the whole time too,
Wow.
so.
Well, you know, it's
lucky.
interesting how you rolled into that, because you said, you know, you were the neighborhood mom.
Right.
Well, folks, you can answer all at once if you want. Who is a child's first teacher?
The mom.
Their mom.
So you really legitimately kind of slipped right in and
I
became,
did.
you know, not only your own children's teacher, because you were the first teacher,
Right.
all moms are, then the neighborhood teacher, and now into the school, the neighborhood school
That's it.
teacher. Oh, that's wonderful. Thank you, Kathy.
Thank you.
That was great. Joanne, how did you choose being a teacher?
I don't think there ever was a time that I didn't want to be a teacher.
Okay.
Honestly, I was that kid with the chalkboards, playing school.
Barbie dolls?
Yeah.
Light 'em all up.
I would ask my
Dolls?
teachers in school for their extra worksheets that they didn't need to bring home.
Oh, my
and-
goodness.
Yeah, so
Oh,
if you
boy.
ask my parents, that's all I wanted to do. I wanted
my
to be a
goodness.
teacher. There was never any other thing I wanted to
Isn't
do.
that something? You see? That, okay. I mean, you know, it's a showstopper.
Yeah.
Because it was in your genes, so to speak, from the moment you were able to understand what teaching was or being a student was. That's what you
Yeah.
wanted.
Yeah.
Now, was Ken Doll ever in timeout when you were doing practicing
Of
teaching?
course. Yeah.
See?
My brother was one of my students.
Oh.
Yeah. Yes, he was.
Whether
Yeah.
you wanted to be or not.
Now, I have to share this with you, and a true story. My daughter, not my daughter, my granddaughter, my daughter's daughter, they were growing up, and they lived in Jackson, so they were there for a while. And I would go over, and here I am, the principal of school and all this. Well, when I was there, I was playing Barbie dolls with them, and I was part of the school. Guess what I wound up every day? Time out. My grandchildren. So my granddaughter put me in timeout. But I remember all the Barbie dolls and the stuffed, different
stuffed
animals. You know, whatever they were, teddy bears or giraffes, didn't matter. They were all lined up.
Yeah.
So, and you had your own chalkboard.
I did. Yes, I did.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
So you've come about this quite legitimately
Yes.
as well. And tell me about how many years now you're in Jackson?
This is my 14th year in Jackson.
Wow.
I was 12 years. I was a special education teacher. And then this is my second year actually being a basic skills teacher.
Now, is that a different certification for that?
Yeah, you have to have your special education certification. I'm dual certified.
Oh, okay.
So,
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
I knew special needs, absolutely, you must have a special certification for that, of course.
Yeah.
But okay, and
and
basic
I have my
skills
elementary education certification.
as well.
Yep.
Wonderful. Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you for sharing that. And could you try not to put me in timeout?
I'll try not to, yes.
I mean, you know, here I am in front of the public, you know, it's be a little embarrassing. In timeout, Barry. But thank you, okay, she's kind. She's very kind, she is. Barbara Indero,
Yes.
formerly Para,
Yes.
Rosenauer.
Yes.
Boy,
Quite a few years.
Quite a few years. So we really do know each other for how many years?
Well, closest guys, I've been in the district for 39 years now.
That's
and
how
I
long we
came
know each
there
other.
in my fourth year to Rose now. I started out in Johnson,
Right?
and then I went from Johnson to Holman for 3 years, and then I came to Rosenauer, and I've been there since then.
Yeah, it's wonderful.
Yes, yes.
Wow, all those years, and here you've gone from first, second, third, fourth, fifth, and back down again, first, second, third, fourth, fifth, back down.
Well, in a couple of because I started out as a in a self-contained class
Yes, I was
for
gonna get to
many
that.
years,
I was gonna
right?
get to that.
For many years.
Right, that's what I wanted you to
Yeah.
share with us. So you have been, and you've been classroom, no, you've been a personal para at times as
At
well.
times a personal, at
Right.
times a shared, at times a classroom. And then in the special ed class, when I was in self-contained, I was the classroom in self-contained.
Right. It's
With all
wonderful.
those wonderful kids.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
all those years and, you know, helping students to be the best they can be. And I know that with all of us, we'll get to some of that, but what a challenge that really is.
You know,
to-
people ask me, excuse me, why I'm still
Yes.
doing it after all these years. Why
Yes.
don't I retire? Well, I'm not ready to, because when I can go into the classroom and I feel like I'm making a contribution to these students, and they hug me and they love it, and I feel like I'm still doing a good job, I want to stay. I can't see not doing this because I have such gratitude to the kids for the way they treat me and respect
Yes.
me and when they
Yeah.
work with me. The little boy, is the day that I found out over the loudspeaker that I got my award, I was so overwhelmed, I started crying. And my one little boy, who's really, I'm shared para with, started crying. He came over to me, he's hugging me. Are you okay? Are you okay? What happened, Miss I? What happened, Miss I?
Here.
And I, no, these are happy tears. I'm happy. Did you hear what they said? But he was watching me and watching me cry, that he wasn't listening. So we had to explain to him why I was so happy and why I was crying.
And Barbara, why did you choose going into education
Well,
all those years ago?
Okay, my kids were in Switwick School, my two older kids. I went in there as a parent volunteer, because back then parent volunteers were a big thing, okay?
Yep.
And I started working in
True.
the classroom with three different teachers, and they said to me, look, there's openings for paras. Why don't you go apply for that? So they said, you do so well here, how about you try it? And those three wonderful teachers wrote these glowing reports on me, and
I could understand that.
Mr. Elms called me and said, we have an opening for you at the Johnson School, and would you like it? And to have and try it. I says, okay, when I started 39 years ago, you worked as a sub for 2 months. So that
okay.
you can see if you work well with the teacher, because what they were finding out, you need that good rapport between the teacher and their
Right,
parent.
trying to get a match.
Yes, otherwise it doesn't work in the classroom. So we had that, and after the 2 months, they hired me full-time, and I would work with one of the women who became our principal over at Rosenauer, Claire Cali.
Yes.
So I
Claire.
was lucky enough to be
Wow.
with her my first year. She taught me the ins and outs and the ropes of being a para in the classroom. So everything she taught me is what I followed through all my time I've been as a para.
Wow, excellent. What a good lineage you had
Yes.
in learning and then implementing all of that learning right to our children
Yes.
in the classroom.
Yes.
No matter what grade.
No matter what
or
grade,
what assignment specifically it was.
what disabilities they had.
Right,
So.
terrific. Wow, wow, I love it. That's why I love doing this. I get to know you better. As much as I know Barbara for all 39 years,
With
I
the
got to
squeaking
know
and the
you.
things going into the
Well,
the lunch.
listen.
It was, hey, I always said to you, do you need some earplugs when you first started out? And you say, no, I got it. It's okay. We'll be better. Wait till June. We'll see how good we are.
And by June, we were still squeaking and yelling in your lunch. Very hard to
Yeah.
make it softer when children are eating, because it's their time to relax and get off some steam as well. Oh my goodness, that's wonderful. Heather Connolly, reading specialist. Is that the title now?
Yes.
Still,
Yes.
reading specialist at the Johnson Elementary School. How many years? How did you get into teaching? Why? And all that. Please.
I actually began teaching in Maryland.
Oh, okay.
At first, when I started college, I actually wanted to be a doctor. And then I figured out that I wasn't that good at science. So I changed my major to elementary education, and I got my certification then. And I became a first grade teacher in Maryland for 5 years.
Wow.
My husband, who's from up here, asked me to marry him, and
Uh-huh.
I then moved up here. Dan Baginski hired me, and I started at Elms as a first grade teacher. Then I was a reading intervention teacher, and then I was switched to a reading specialist.
Wow. What's reading intervention? I'm sorry, with all my years, I don't know that exact title.
It's actually the same as like a basic skills teacher.
Oh, okay.
You just focus on reading.
Got it. I just didn't ever deal with that title.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay, thank you. Thanks for doing all that. Wow. Oh, and why did you become an educator? Was it, you know?
I really wanted to be part of something big. and what bigger thing than our future, working with kids. So that's really why I got involved in education, and especially becoming a reading specialist. I wanted to be a part of something that all kids need to have, and you know, super important.
Yes. Can't get anywhere if you can't read.
Right.
I know the importance of that, and you know, from all the years of, well, all of us know that from being in education. If the kids can't read, we're in trouble.
Right.
And they need to have that skill, at least that, if nothing else. Thank you for what you do.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Kathleen?
Yes, Barry.
Kathleen Shastley.
How are you?
I am fine. I hope you're doing well too, and I know you are. So tell us how, at Crawford Rodriguez, you're at Crawford, and you are a classroom parent, and tell us about your educational work and how you got into it and so on.
Well, I originally started subbing, and I did childcare with Barbara. I started with her back in 2001, and then I, you know, started just subbing in the district, and I fell in love with working in the self-contained classrooms and seeing, you know, with the kids, and you know, just seeing them achieve things that were difficult in the beginning of the year, and then they could achieve it by the middle of the year, and it was just something that I totally enjoyed, and I've worked from pre-K up to now 4-5, and I just totally enjoy it. It was something that I kind of fell into. It wasn't something I set out to do.
Sure.
You know,
Isn't that something?
it is, and it's like primarily I started off working in a nursing home, and I rehabilitated, you know, patients to go back into their apartment. So kind of like fell into the same category as far as, you know, helping children, you know, to achieve different things.
Wow.
I've been at Crawford for 14 years. I was at Johnson for one. We with you that 1 year. Yeah, I was with you, and I went back to Crawford. I've been there ever since. You know, but it's
wonderful.
I can't see myself doing anything else.
Yep.
I totally enjoy
And
it.
it was right there for you.
Yeah.
Kind of like what Joanne said.
Yeah,
So
it is. It's
she
something
even
once I
started
got
a
in
little
there,
bit.
it's something that I've worked with wonderful teachers, from Meredith Shields, who was my first teacher I ever worked
Right,
with.
Meredith, yes.
Linda Solito, who was somewhere in the middle, and my current teacher, Nicole Johnston, who is just phenomenal. It's just
Wonderful.
I feel the teachers I've worked with throughout the years have made me a better paraprofessional. You know,
Wonderful.
they have taught me everything I feel that I know, that, you know, and have guided me, you know, it's been, I just have had a wonderful 15 years.
Excellent. Well,
Maybe
congratulations.
15 more, not
again.
so many, just Barbara 39, I'm not sure if I have that many.
It's only another 24. Come on. Go.
I'll stay for
Kathleen,
24 more
go.
years if you stay.
She threw the gauntlet
Yeah,
down.
right down.
But you know what you just said, Kathleen, reminded me of what Jessica said. Here you were in a hospital situation as well, and in other areas totally outside of the spectrum of the educational family. And you then felt and had that spark come to you. I mean, that's beautiful. It really is. To make that leap from outside to come in to the educational system, for having that feeling of what you needed to make you whole as a professional, to get that feeling. And I just love that. That's what you came around and about to. Now, real quick answer. I'm going to start with the left again. Here we go. Kathleen, real quick,
Back to me.
short answer.
Okay.
How did you feel when you got the announcement that you were educational service professional, and how did it come about?
Oh, overwhelmed. I actually had been out, and I was out injured, and Michonne Denis called me at home, and she just put me on hold, and I was like, okay. She's like, I forgot I have to do the announcements, and I'm like, awkward, but okay. And you know, they had were videotaping it unbeknownst to me on the side, so to see my reaction, because I was still out sick. And so she had, video, and that's how I found out, by, listening to her, and then later seeing the video, that they took for me. So it was very nice that she did that, and she got back on the phone and was like, "Gotcha." I was like, "Thanks."
Wow.
But it was very nicely done.
Excellent.
They included me even though I wasn't there.
Excellent. Oh, that's so beautiful. Heather, where were you, and how did it happen, and how did you feel?
We were at a breakfast, our holiday breakfast celebration,
right.
and I really wasn't expecting it, so I was kind of shocked, but excited.
Isn't that great? Excited and being chosen again by your peers. Barb, how did it happen?
Well, we were outside
Oh,
when the
okay.
announcement went over, because Mr. Polakowski did not know that we were outside. Was banging on the window to get in, so we got scared. We thought something had happened. We had to get into the building. You know, before we get in, we sit, go back into our classroom. We're sitting there, and then he comes on to speak. You're not speaking. He says, and he said, and I told you, when I would cry, it was so overwhelming because I knew I had the people that I know in the school that I work with. You know, they tell you that they like, you know, and that came about. So I just cried because it was so overwhelming.
Excellent. That is a beautiful emotion. And I understand the little one's, you know, concern for you because he works with you every day. You're so close, you guys, you know. And he sees you crying. He goes, "Oh my, what's wrong?" You know, Miss Barber, what do they call you?
Miss I.
Miss I. Okay. So sure, Miss I. Why? I truly understand it. The being overwhelmed is certainly understandable. Joanne, how did it happen?
Actually, the day they made the announcements, I was out sick.
Oh.
So they announced the teacher of the year, but not the education service professional of the year. So, and you know, I had seen who our teacher of the year was, and I was very excited.
Right.
So I was, I had called my friend, and I was like, who got the other award? They're like, oh, they didn't announce that yet. I guess they're giving that person their own day. I'm like, okay. So
That would make sense.
so
I mean,
that
that's
was
logic,
yes,
you know?
yes. So that was a Friday. So the following Monday, I came in, and it was during announcements. So I was in homeroom with the class that I start off my day with, and my vice principal came in with flowers, and a couple of my fellow intervention teachers
Wonderful.
came in, and so it was very nice and very surprised. I was extremely surprised.
Wow. The flowers, too.
Yes, flowers, balloons, cards.
Very
So it was
nice.
very nice, very nice.
Boy, oh boy, see, like, you know.
Yeah, I work with some,
There you
I work
go.
with some terrific people. I'm very lucky.
I come in, I get a milkweed. Here, Barry. Thanks. Wonderful, congratulations.
Thank you.
I love the story. Kathy Coco.
Yeah, we were working on our reader's workshop. I was working with some students, and the announcement came over from Mr. Garris, and kids came running, screaming, cheering, you know, like a bunch of crazies. And then Mr. Garris came down with flowers and balloons, and the teacher of the year, Kathleen Lynch, which you know very well. You know, we joined each other in the hallway, and everyone came running. So it was exciting. Very surprised.
Yep, wonderful. He's a very caring principal.
Yes.
All the principals are.
Absolutely.
I mean, I know them all quite, you know, well enough, and they just are marvelous, all of them. He's very caring too, very good. Jessica.
Also at a holiday breakfast.
Okay.
All the staff is there. It's kind of like an Elms tradition. Ever since I've been there, it's been the same way. They have the teacher of the year or the educational service professional from the year before kind of, you know, say some of the things that were, I guess, mentioned in the nominations. And so towards the end is when they start to give more detail. So you're you know, running through your mind. I'm like, oh, who is it? And then at the end, they actually also invite your family. So my kids, my husband, my mother-in-law were all there. So I was also overwhelmed. That's the first word that came to my mind when you asked, you know, how you feel.
Sure.
Because I just was completely overwhelmed. I work with amazing, amazing people. I was, you know, the last person to think that it would be me.
And you know, that is part of what makes you so beautiful and receiving this award. Your inner beauty of being humble, but you have all those skills and are willing to share them in the most professional manner with every single child that comes to you. No matter what their size, no matter what their ethnicity, it doesn't matter. Nothing matters but that child, that human being. And it does take a village to raise a child.
Absolutely.
And you are part of the village. And you've all alluded to that you work with such wonderful, I get very emotional, I'm sorry. Because all of us have it here. you've got to be an educator, it's got to be here. Nobody could just walk in and say, oh, this is easy, come on, you got it. No, it takes one day to know that. You know, if anybody ever gave you any word that, oh, your job is so easy, yes, come in. I want you to come in one day to do what I do. And I'll prep you, and I want you to go one day in the classroom. Watch the different tone after that. They understand. So the fact that you were overwhelmed is understandable. The fact that you cried, the fact that you just didn't understand it first and said, oh, it's logical, okay, well, I guess I'll do it next week, and then all of a sudden, ba-boom, there you are. It was at the 2 different breakfasts, right, from Johnson and from the Elm School. I mean, the Elm School, that's right, Johnson and Elms. So yours was at the breakfast and so on. It was terrific. You were outside, I love that too. You weren't even in the building. Get them back in, quick. It is wonderful. And being this for the whole year now is special. Now, let me think about this. Were you already introduced at a board meeting? At a Board of Education meeting?
Yes, Tuesday night.
Last Tuesday night. So you've already had that honor of being introduced in front of so many other people, your families, and so many other families as well, the general public, as well as the Board of Ed, and other educators and administration. Do you get a chance also for other special things, like, are you going on the River Lady for a luncheon? Do you know yet?
I have no idea. We didn't get our tickets yet.
Barry gets more than we got.
We got a parking spot.
That's a
Oh, you got a parking
got a
spot.
parking spot, yes.
Ah,
The
wait a
parking
minute.
spot is pretty great.
It's pretty
Ah, you see, there are
good perk.
there are perks to this. That's why I was rolling around into that. You guys are good. You're preempting. I need you on my show all the time. You keep me on the straight and narrow. Parking space? Parking space?
Yes.
All right, so we know Holman and Johnson have a parking space for the educational service professional. And what perk do you have? Let's see, go ahead.
I've got nothing.
But you got to thank you.
I did, no, I did. I'm just joking, I'm just kidding.
No, you got such wonderful accolades
Yeah.
from just being the education
Yes,
service
definitely,
professional.
definitely.
And is there anything special at Rosenauer? I don't know.
I don't know, but they usually do a dinner
Oh.
at the
there
end
you
of the
go.
year.
I see
Yeah,
that.
usually with the Teacher of the Year and the ESP of the Year, we do a dinner. Where I have no
Wonderful.
idea. You know, I'm humbled to let wherever they decide, and we
Right,
go.
you're going to be part of it.
Yes.
That's also, I knew there was some other special stuff. There is a special dinner that you're going to be involved with the Teachers of the Year as well. And that's wonderful. And was there any special
They
place?
gave us a breakfast,
breakfast,
beautiful
there you go.
breakfast.
Oh, very nice.
Teachers, our other colleagues made the breakfast for us, and it was
Wow.
beautiful. And we had flowers there too.
That's it. See, that's cool. Anything other than anything special?
Well,
from
before the board
Swift?
meeting, we usually go out to dinner.
Oh, great.
So we went to Manja and,
Excellent.
had a very nice dinner.
Manja.
And,
I love it.
myself and the Teacher of the Year and her family and my family and our colleagues. So it was very nice.
Very nice.
It
And
was
then
very
to the
nice.
Board of Ed to be
Yep.
officially
Yes.
recognized by the school district
Yes.
and the Board of Education. So that's wonderful. And you got your parking space, Kathy?
Yes, and we'll have the dinner sometime
And
soon.
dinner as well, yes. And Jessica, anything at?
Yes, at the
Beyond?
breakfast, they give us a cake.
Okay.
And also at the board meeting, so many of our peers were out there and gave us balloons and little gifts, and just the support alone
It was very
is
nice.
wonderful, And our PTN is fantastic. I was surprised today. We got a nice little gift in lunch bought for us, so it was
Wow.
a surprise today, so that was really nice, yeah.
See, the surprises.
Yes, that was
Now,
very
listen,
nice.
I have to forewarn you. Be ready for phone calls and contracts from TV studios, movies, Hollywood. You never know. You don't know. I mean, this is your, you can see on the monitor there, we're all on TV. Hi, guys. There you go. And, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank the Board of Ed at this time, too, for providing the opportunities for all of us to recognize greatness right within our own school district. Teachers of the Year, Educational Service Professionals, these are the creme de la creme, the best of the best. And, you know, thank you, Board of Ed, for supporting these kind of activities, these programs. And thank you for giving our teachers, our paraprofessionals, our educators, all of them, the kinds of materials they need. I know that they go through this, you know, they go through the various levels to their school principal or to their supervisor or special teacher that they're working with and ask, you know, gee, I need this, or discuss that. I need this, I need that. But thank you for being so supportive throughout the year. We really appreciate everything you do for all of us that are right there on the ground, as they say, with our students and working every day to have each student be the best that he or she can be. So it's so important, and thank you. And ladies and gentlemen, you've had the opportunity to meet our teachers, our educational service professionals of the year. And we're ready to say thank you to them again, and thank you for watching. And I hope that you know them better. They are great. You know each of them a little bit better as a person. And these are people who are grateful for your giving the children to us. And thank you for being supportive. Parents, I'm with you as well, I'm sure. Any special shout out there that parents helped in any special way to anybody, just real quick?
Yes, well, they brought flowers and balloons to us.
From your PT?
From two parents with their children.
Oh, and even parents with children?
On Tuesday night, they came Tuesday night and gave us flowers and balloons.
Thank you, and I think, Jessica, you mentioned
Yes, we have an amazing PTN.
Your PTN, right, you mentioned that.
Yes, they're always there for us, supporting us and helping us do what we want to do, and, you know, they're just amazing, always very generous, so thank you.
Thank you, parents, and thank you, parents, for not only being a part of your PTA, PTO, PTN, whatever it is, but the fact that you give so much of your time to help all of us do what we have to do and permit us to do it. So thanks again, everyone. Thank you for being here with us today on This is Jackson. Thank you, Kathleen Shastny from the Crawford Rodriguez School, Heather Donnelly from the Johnson School, Barbara Endero from the Rosenauer Elementary School, Joanne Jones from the Switlick School, and Kathy Coco from the Holman School, and Jessica Fioretti from the Elm School. Guys, take care. You can wave goodbye. Bye, Mom, Dad, my kids, bye, everybody watching. See you next time on This is Jackson. Take care.